Well, as you can see, we have once again moved locations. This is why it's taken me 35 days to get to this band, to hear these 4 albums, because we had to do couple of changes here. So, for like the 8th time on this channel, this is our new home now. In this stupid purple room, but hopefully it will be less purple the more stuff I put on the wall. So if you're new here, about 13 years ago, we ran a little contest over here, and basically where people give me albums, and the winner, I get to listen to their whole discography and rank them. And that band this time was Harmonium from Nim Likes Music. Once again, congrats. I know you probably already forgot about it already, but here we are. We're doing 4 albums. Obviously, the band themselves have 3, and viewer suggestion, we're going to do the record he did with another dude. Okay, let me first of all say this. I am not going to try to pronounce anything. I'm not pronouncing any names, any albums, any songs, because they're all in French, and I'm not even going to attempt. So we're just going to call it the first album, the second album, the third album, and the joint album, okay? So that's what's going to happen. All right, so with all that said, let's get right into number 4. Now, I realize this might be a little blasphemous because their debut self-titled album seems to be a pretty popular one in the fan base. And, because with these 3 records, they shift sounds like throughout all of them. So we got this first one that's very folky. There's a lot of acoustics and vocals. Like most of it is just that. And being that it's in French and I can't understand a single thing anyone is saying, there's not much really pulling me in with this record. However, the 12-string jamming, like the chords and even the little solo in the 3rd track was awesome. I really like that. But yeah, very folky, a lot of vocals and acoustics. Can't understand anything, so that's why this is on the bottom, because there's not much pulling me back in to listen to this record again. Alright, now we're going to the double album, 3rd and final album from them. I know I just said I'm not going to try to pronounce any titles. However, I did talk about the titles in my notes, because the 4th song, Chanson Noir, okay, maybe we will be able to pronounce some of these. The ending of that song straight up sounded like a sitcom intro, and that was pretty awesome. The next track after that, which is La Première, there's a lot of long songs in this album, and I think that one was my favorite. There's this really sick-ass synth solo in there. Especially compared to the first album, there is so much more in here, because this is where they went straight up like prog rock. And so, yeah, definitely a much more enjoyable listen. I don't care too much for the last few tracks, the last couple long-ass songs. However, that also might just be because by the end of it, I was kind of waiting for it to end already. So if I probably listen to those on their own, I'm sure I will enjoy them just as much. And yeah, once again, can't understand what they're saying, which it might help if I did, but for what it is, it's a pretty solid album. And as far as double records go, maybe after a few listens, this would probably end up being one of the better ones I've heard. Alright, now we're going to have the joint album he did with the man's name I do not know. It's pretty good. Very glad you recommended me that I check out this one as well, because the second track with that sax solo, man, that was super smooth. The Illusion We have one song in English, which is Illusion. That was good. I liked it. Gave me very strong Pink Floyd vibes, so that was a very good thing. And then we get the song Vienn's Dancer, which straight up makes me want to bust a move. Very, very good stuff. Anytime there's like big finales, the final track does that as well. I just really like the way they, always end the songs in big explosions. That's always nice. Okay, and with that, we move on into number one. And still the king, we have the 5 seasons on top. And yeah, I mean, it's really hard to put into words just like how good this album actually is. Because, man, like in the comments on the video of when I did it, Nim Likes Music mentioned how he was surprised that it even came in first, considering there's not even any drums, which, I mean, that's what I do. And to be fully honest, I didn't even realize there weren't any because their melodies are so good, it didn't even cross my mind. Dixie, I already mentioned before how I really like that track. It's just really good. Vert and the other track 3 and 4 are all solid stuff, but really, man, it all comes down to those first couple sections in the final track, the big, long 17-minute piece. Because the first 5 minutes will go down in history as some of the finest music I ever heard in my entire life. Because, yeah, I really wish it didn't get super weird into that like dreamy sequence after the 5-minute mark. It does come back later. It ends very nicely as well, but there's some weird stuff in the middle of this track. But really, man, it's those first 5 minutes that I cannot stress enough just how good that stuff is. It's just the pianos and the acoustics. And man's got a great voice. Just great melodies all throughout this entire record, all throughout this band. There's just so many great melodies. Very good writers. God rest her soul, taken before their time. Really wish we would have gotten that 4th album, but you know what? These 3, despite even the first one, I'm not like a big fan of. They're still like a great listen. It's a very good band. Big congrats, everyone! Round of applause to Mike's music, and yeah. That'll do it for Harmonium. It's almost October. I was really excited to do Opeth for Halloween, but they decided to delay their album 3 whole weeks into November, so that kind of sucks. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing for Halloween now, but I'm sure I will figure it out. Everyone better get used to this room because, man, I swear to God, if I'm in a different room within the next 5 years, I might as well shut the channel down because, oh my God, this is too much moving. But yeah, thanks for your patience waiting for this video. I know it took a little while, but thank you once again for the suggestion, and I will see you guys with whatever I'm going to do next.